everyone, this is Barry J. Walker here, Regional Championship. Ooh, as we're watching Ranger 7 getting put up and over the top as Ranger 7 is squaring off against Sheik Mohammed. This is a feud with these two guys. They've wrestled all over the place. And nice maneuver by Ranger 7. This is going to be high-flying, high-packed moves here with these two. They know each other very well. Both men trained by the bodacious Pretty Boy. Ranger 7 just leg dropped Sheik Mohammed's arm, and he's heading to the top of the ropes. And a senton right off the corner onto Sheik Mohammed. Now, to me, Ranger 7 looks different. He's doing different things I've never seen him do before. It's kind of odd. I just wanted to bring that up. And look at him yelling at the ref. That's really what is going on here. This is not the Ranger 7 that I know. I don't know what's going on here. But he sends, oh no, Sheik Mustafa reverses it. Nice. And another arm drag. And a drop kick. And look at this. Ranger 7 goes to the outside, which is again something that I never seen him do before. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's a little upset. Look at this. He gets brought in the hard way by Sheik Mohammed. Regional Championship Wrestling, as you can see on your screen, facebook.com/Regional Championship Wrestling. Go on there on Facebook and get some more information for Regional Championship Wrestling. We're also on YouTube at RCW Promotions. Go on there, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and you'll get more notifications when new videos come out. 1, 2, and no. Sheik Mohammed closely getting the title, the win, but he didn't. Ranger 7 is going to the outside. It's kind of odd to see Ranger 7 the way he is right now. I think he's upset about a lot of things. Let's just put it that way. Nice maneuver by Ranger 7. And a spinning, I think he was going to try to do a cross body. I can't even speak today. As you can see, he's going to probably try this again. Oh! Mohammed got out of the way. Ranger 7 goes over the top, and he may have hurt himself. Not a good move for Ranger 7. Referee Pee Wee Yo, and we're here at Red Lion, Pennsylvania. Ranger 7's coming in. Sheik Mohammed going out. Oh, he brought him right back out and smashed his head. What's he going to do with him? Is he going to power drive him on the outside? Oh! That could be the end. I don't know if he got all of it in, but what he did get is still a painful move. He sends him back into the ring. And he drops the elbow right on him. I'm distracted over here looking at the notes around here. What is Ranger 7 has got a problem today or what's going on? Technical difficulties, kicked him right in the head. He sets into the ropes, and look at this maneuver. Wow, he Frankenstein him right out to the outside. Referee is having none of this. He's upset with Ranger 7 as well. I don't see the fans cheering Ranger 7 today as they usually do. He throws the chair into the ring. Steps into the ring as he tosses Mohammed in, gives him a kick into the right there in the rib area. Now he's got a chair. Look at that! A leg drop to the chair. Referee trying to get the chair away. He picks up Mohammed. He still has a chair in hand. I never knew this match was an anything goes match, but apparently it is now. He hits the ropes, jumps to the chair, clothesline, and they both go out to the ring again. PBO getting the chair out of the ring as fast as possible before they use it again. And now, double clothesline on the outside of the floor, and there are no mats out there. Both of them taking a beating. This is Regional Championship Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen us, we're in Reading, Pennsylvania. We've run throughout PA, throughout Florida. Watch out with this senton tongue outside the ring. backflip off the second rope onto the outside of the floor where Sheik Mohammed is at. He throws him back into the ring, and now he's going to the top again, maybe. Maybe not. He's going into the ropes. What's he going to do now? Nice backflip off the top of the middle rope. It's over. Just like that, Ranger 7 comes out victorious. Well, I'm going to see if I can get an interview with him to find out what his problem is today, because it's not usually like that. Ranger 7 wins. I'm Barry J. Walker, and we'll see you at the matches.
Who got me my start in the world of professional wrestling as a commentator, none other than the one and only former host of radio's best wrestling talk show in the world, Pro Wrestling Talk, Mr. Larry Katz.
Larry. Hey, penguin!
Thank you, Michael. It's nice to be back.
Does he look like a penguin or what?
Since I close down the show, I don't go quite as much as I used to, but I try to keep up with it as best I can, and thank you for having me here tonight. And it's great to see Jim Neidhart here, really.
Yes, it's quite a throwback to the old days for you, isn't it, Larry?
And especially you mentioned the old days, because in the 3 years, it's been over 3 years since I decided not to have the show anymore. It just shows Neidhart as an example of how wrestling has changed. The WWF is still the #1, I guess, product in the world as far as, you know, fans and finances generated and so on and so forth.
We're having a little bit of a problem picking you up.
All right, let me adjust my microphone here. I hope you can hear me now.
Okay.
What I was going to say is that, you know, Jim Neidhart is an example of how wrestling has changed since I stopped the show 3 years ago. The guys who made pro wrestling when my show was popular, the Hulk Hogan's, the Randy Savages, they're all with WCW now, but they're sort of past their prime. So WWF now is sort of, they have all the new stars, the new heroes, the guys like, they're not necessarily new, but the ones who've taken over, like The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, people like that. So that, to me, is the way wrestling has changed in the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Not to detract from what you were saying there, Larry, but we have a match going on right now, and the Flying Dutchman will tell us more about it.
Absolutely. Lewis Prophet brought yet another man from the Doom Squad, from the depths of hell, the Vampire Warrior, taking on, of course, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, a man you're certainly very familiar with, Larry Katz.
Well, you know, Jim Neidhart was one of the superstars of the WWF for so many years. With, you know, he was tag team champion with Brett for so many years. And I'll tell you, he looks like he's in great shape. You know, I always wonder, you know, about these wrestlers, how and why sometimes they leave the top of the deck, so to speak, like the WWF, and, you know, wind up in something like the WWF, which I respect, but it's certainly not, you know, the top of the game.
No, it is independent professional wrestling, and that's, you know, that's a different set of circumstances from the big leagues such as WWF.
And don't get me wrong, the WWF is great wrestling. Independent wrestling was always, I thought I've done many independent matches as a ring announcer and so on and so forth. And independent wrestling is wonderful, just that for most wrestlers, you know, the WWF is the equivalent of the NBA or the NFL, so on and so forth.
Absolutely. Ron, can you tell us a little bit about the action or the lack thereof going on in the ring right now between Vampire Warrior and Jim the Anvil Neidhart?
Both men are still in the feeling out stages. Obviously, power is the forte of both wrestlers, especially more so for Jim Neidhart. Always slow and plodding, looking to wear his man down, and both seem to be just testing the waters, if you will.
Larry, thinking back to the best match you ever saw with Jim the Anvil Neidhart, which match would you have to say that was?
Mike, that's such a tough question because, excuse me, he had such a varied career. He was not only a villain, but he was a hero at the same time. I would say collectively, when he was teamed with Bret Hart, that those were the best matches I ever saw. I can't really pinpoint one particular match, but I think when he was teamed with Bret Hart, collectively those were the glory days for Jim Neidhart.
Yes, indeed they were.
Action is spilled outside onto the ring floor. Lewis Prophet chasing both men around. Anvil trying to pull him back outside, and now Anvil's got a handful of Prophet. Just enough for the Vampire Warrior to get a shot in. Rake of the eyes, and Anvil is stunned.
I'll tell you, Mike, Neidhart looks to be in excellent shape. Even though he's been out of wrestling, he's not, been in the WWF for a long time, it seems to me.
Well,
it looks like he's in great shape.
No offense, Larry, but it seems as though you seem to think of a wrestler being out of commission if they're not in the big leagues.
No, not necessarily. I just,
it's apples and oranges.
Well, I think I just sometimes think of the WWF as being the highest rung on the ladder. But, there's a great car here tonight. You got a great crowd.
Yep.
You got some of the best wrestlers in the world on the car here. I know Bastion Booker's here tonight.
Yes, indeed.
I know Typhoon was here tonight.
Yes.
Am I correct? You have Jim the Anvil Neidhart there. Now, don't get me wrong. I think independent wrestling is wonderful. I've been to many independent matches. I just always, looked upon the WWF as being such a, a high ladder type of thing.
Ron, quite honestly, I have to say, Larry, that the whole change, there's been a whole change in the face of independent wrestling to where I don't even like to refer to it as independent wrestling anymore. I like to call it the alternative to the large groups like the WWF and WCW. Pound for pound, the wrestlers are equal in caliber.
Yep.
Sure, they may not get the exposure, may not be household names like the Hogan and the Savage, but needless to say, these two men in the ring are charging up the fans, putting on a fantastic exhibition, and everybody seems to love it.
Well, that's my point. I don't think that this wrestling is any different than WWF wrestling. It's just that the perception is that when a wrestler is in the WWF, that he's higher up the ladder. So, the wrestling in many of these matches is much better than what the WWF puts on. So, don't get me wrong, Mike.
Absolutely. No offense taken, Larry. I think we've got a situation going on in the ring right now. Tell us more about it, Ron.
Well, the Vampire Warrior was in control, but a series of short elbows gets Neidhart out, but he's clotheslined and taken back to the mat, staying back on top of his man. Excellent strategy so far by the Vampire Warrior, trying to wear Neidhart down. It has not been too successful.
Larry Katz on camera right now. Just had a shot of Larry, and now we're back into the ring.
Mike, this Vampire Warrior, he's impressive looking. He looks to me like a classic wrestler.
Yes.
He's got the blonde hair and the black tights, and he looks like
And then we got a pinfall, near fall,
It looks like
and
a classic
two.
wrestler to me.
Throws him off once again, and the Vampire Warrior on the offensive, back into the corner, choking him over the top rope. The referee quickly breaking up the hold. And once again, we see the chicanery of the manager choking for all he's worth. Neidhart prone in a press pin. Count of two, but his foot is on the ropes.
Well, Larry, if you were to call this match right now, who would you say you would give the advantage to?
At this particular point, I'm going to give the advantage to the Vampire Warrior. He seems to have the upper hand on Neidhart, but wrestling matches can change so quickly that
And by the same
something
token,
like that.
a man like Neidhart could be playing possum.
Right. A mismove here, a slip here, and the direction of a wrestling match, the momentum can change almost as quickly in wrestling matches as it can in any sport.
The Anvil has always been, I'm sorry, Mike, the Anvil has always been an opportunist, looking for his opponent to make a mistake so he can capitalize. Right now, that appears to be the case, and he makes one of his own, charging into the corner. Clubbing double axe handle onto the back, calling his manager, Lewis Prophet, into the ring. He's got no business being in here, Larry.
Well, the referee really needs to take over now.
And the man off from behind, and Melina back in a bridge. He's got the kill.
That was the case.
Brooklyn Brawler Jimmy Dio. You want to jump us? You want to have 3 guys on 2? How about 3 on 3? You want to do it? Huh? We know who your partner is, but the joke is you don't know who our partner is. And on May 9th, you'll find out that joke. And wait till you see.
But this is going on in other organizations as well. It's spilling on, so every organization these guys wrestle in, it's these 2 teams. And we've got action on the outside, we've got action on the inside. You got Georgie Love on the inside with Jake Molson. You got Jack Molson and Jay Love were out there having a ball beating on each other. Whoa, big backdrop. I wonder how Georgie's leg is doing in his knee. I know it was injured at earlier on tonight in the first event here at the mall. Double clothesline, and there you see the big one, Jack Molson. He breaks at 4. Big man like that has to choke. I don't understand it. Sweet Daddy Jay isn't taking it, and he gives a shot. Dave Curley, the referee, needs to step in there because Jay is not the legal man in the ring. Was there a tag? I don't know. Well, I do know now Jake is legal. Jake Molson and Sweet Daddy Jay are the 2 legal men in the ring. Well, I knew the strength department would go on the Molsons. They have a lot more strength than the Love Connection. And look at this. The Lumberjaks are taking advantage. And now Judas gives a couple of shots into Sweet Daddy Jay. As if the Molsons need any help. Big guys like this. I'll tell you what, the Bodacious Alliance, they need to keep an eye on these 2. Look at this. Oh! Just pumping a little iron. The Alliance must be looking on because I'll tell you, one of these 2 teams is definitely in line for a tag team title matchup against Kid Extreme and Dr. Wildside. And as Jake sitting on the outside with Judas, watching Jack Molson dropping his head into the nether regions of Sweet Daddy Jay Love. The fans are trying to get Sweet Daddy up on this. There's a 2 count, almost had a 3. And there's a tag. Double shot to the back, and now they're kicking away. And the referee needs to step in and do something. Georgie's getting in because he's tired of it, but that only helps the Molsons do more damage to his partner. Oh, he landed him right on his back. That's a massive backbreaker. It could be over. Well, he put his foot on the ropes, and that was probably the smartest thing he could do because he's hurting. And look at this choking. And there's a tag. Jake Molson steps in the ring. Or Jack, I should say. Jake Molson steps out of the ring. That's Jack Molson right now in the ring. Choking away on Jay Love. And there goes Judas as he's stepping in and doing the number on Jay. And Jake is heading that way too. And Georgie comes to the rescue of his partner. It's tough to see your partner out there getting pounded on.
And just think, these two are fighting just to see who is the #1 contenders. The Love Connection are currently the #1 contenders, and the Lumberjaks dispute that. They feel they should be the #1 contenders, and this may be the match to prove who is the #1 contenders for the tag team titles here in Regional Championship Wrestling. And there it is, a sunset flip, 1-2, and he does not get the 3 count. Jay's been in there for quite some time taking a pounding, and I think it's time for him to make a tag or he's going to be going down for the count. And there's a shot to Georgie, which brings Georgie into the ring, and that doesn't help his partner. There was no tag made on the Lumberjack side, but Jake is now in the ring, and he clotheslines Jay. There's a 1-2, and Jay just kicks out. Into the ring. Double clothesline. Now Jay needs to make a tag now. He really desperately needs to make a tag. And there's a tag on the Lumberjack side as Jack Molson now steps in the ring. And Jay did tag Georgie, and Georgie now is on a warpath. He body slams Jack. He body slams Jake. He clotheslines Jack Molson. And another clothesline, but this time to Jake Molson. And now Judas is choking Jay Love with whatever rope that he had. We got a double naga. Now he's going to pin Jake Molson, but he doesn't get the pin, and he got kicked out of the ring. I think all hell is breaking loose. Now Jay's got a chair. George is about to get suplexed into the ring. Jack picked up the chair and he hit Jay with it. And he hit George with it. And he hit Jay with it again. What's the referee doing? There's the bell. Oh, he DDT'd Jay on the chair. Dave Curley getting the chair out of the ring. This match is over. Try telling the Lumberjaks that as they get rid of the Love Connection. We need to get some help and security down here because this is over with and the Molsons are taking advantage of the Love Connection. And now Judas has some kind of a trash can and he's just pounding away at Sweet Daddy J Love, and the Lumberjaks, Jack and Jake, are beating up Georgie Love on the inside. Jake wants a cover, but there is no more covers. Wait a second. The referee counted 1, 2, 3. I don't understand this. Apparently this match must have been an anything goes match. I wasn't aware of that. But if it wasn't anything goes match, well, the Lumberjaks just won this one.
Hello everyone, this is Barry J. Walker with Regional Championship Wrestling. Let's go to the ring right now.
Now, if I would have let my cousin Macho take a hold of this girl, and wear her out for me, then I wouldn't be hurt the way I am. So anyway, I know these girls are trying to touch me. But anyway, now, I'd like to introduce every woman's fantasy. My cousin, women's party in the wrestling industry today, Macho.
Alright everyone, as I was going to say, this is Barry J. Walker from Regional Championship Wrestling's Battleground right here in Acorry, Florida. And we are going to be watching a 3-way match. And it was supposed to be a tag team match, but somehow one of the opponents got hurt in the backstage area. And a lot of people said that they saw Kid Extreme and Macho Morales doing something. We don't know. We do know this. This is a 3-way singles match. the winner of this match will be able to pick a partner, and they will be the very first Florida Tag Team Champions here in Regional Championship Wrestling. And let's say this is going to be a good one. So, the guy with the red shirt, that's Joe Pipitone. And then you have the Bad Boy. And the other guy is Macho Morales, who is being escorted there with his cousin, Kid Extreme, former member of the Bodacious Alliance. And the referee is Smiling Mel. Now, you can see that Bad Boy and Macho Morales used to be the team that was supposed to be here. And the other guy, he lost his partner. And then the next thing we know, Macho Morales decided he didn't want to team up with the Bad Boy, and this made this into a singles match for a three-way. And like I said, the winner gets a title that will be the Ultimate Florida Tag Team Champions. And we had a 2 count by Joe Pipitone on the Bad Boy as Macho Morales hanging out with his cousin, Kid Extreme. Again, I'm Barry J. Walker. We're here in Ocoee, Florida. And, yeah, we're ready for this one. Joe Pipitone was going to go on the outside. There's a lot of outside here. The referee should be counting, and these guys need to be either wrestling or they can go back to the locker room. And as you see, the 2 former tag team beating each... Oh, my goodness. Clotheslined them right on the floor. Referee needs to get these guys in the ring. As far as I'm concerned, I never heard of anything between a double disqualification, countouts or disqualifications or anything like that. Bad Boy getting a fan, and I mean an actual fan, trying to get himself cooled down, but we haven't really had much to do here. My. Referee Smiling Mel. Ocoee, Florida. This will be the last event that RCW will be doing here in Ocoee, Florida, as we signed the contract to wrestle in Eustis, Florida at the National Guard Army. So that will be the next event, Mega Brawl. But we are here at Battleground 3, where we have a lot of wasted time out here. And you can see Kid Extreme is not a... Look at this. Beating up on the Bad Boy on the outside. The referee should be getting involved. Either that or get rid of Kid Extreme. He doesn't belong in the match. So if you can't get order, then take him out. There is a drop kick. Oh, look at this. Now they're out on the floor again. No one's going to win a match out there. Bad Boy to the second rope on the outside. Bad Boy. And look at this. I think he double clotheslined them from the top of the ropes to the outside. And now all 3 guys are outside. And the referee talking to Chio. This is not a session for 2 people to be trying to see who's more intellect. This is a wrestling match. Get these guys in the ring and let's do this. Unbelievable. You got a submission out there. As far as I know, there is, this is just a regular 3-way match where the winners win the Florida Tag Team Championship. Okay, he sends Pipitone into the ring. Maybe go for a cover, maybe? He's going for a suplex. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'll do it again here. Bad Boy and Macho Morales were the original 1 team to be in this tag team tournament. And he just decided he didn't want to team up with his partner. That's why they look similar. And then RCW decided, let's make this a 3-way. And the winner gets to pick his partner, and they will be the first Florida Tag Team Champions. It's a unique opportunity for these guys. And it's something that's never been done in professional wrestling before. So, suplex by the Bad Boy to Macho Morales. But he didn't go for a cover, but he is going to the top. Joe Pipitone in the corner. He claimed if he didn't win, he was going to retire. That's Joe Pipitone. He's the one with the red shirt. Okay, we have a lot of stalling around here. Anyway, while we're waiting on this going on here, if you want, you can subscribe to the channel right here. Look at this. Off the top rope, leg drop. It ain't no Alabama Jam, but very close to it. As the bad boy stopped the cover, and now he's going to set him up for a power bomb or something. Nope, he's going to get backdropped or not. Nope, what's this? Oh, my. That could be the end right there. We can have a tag team champion right here. No. Nope. Nope, nope. I saw it coming. Macho Morales is up again. Okay, Macho sends him into the ropes. Clotheslines Joe Pipitone, who's in a lot of trouble. Oh, shot right in the face. And again. And I don't know what's going on with the ref over there. I'm not even going to pay attention to that. Look at this. Kick in the gut. Pipitone's taking right. Boy, he's got his leg. What's he going to do with it? He's just holding it. Oh, Pipitone like didn't have no idea what he was going to do. And just like that, he got kicked in the back of the head. Now Bad Boy waiting for Pipitone. Nope. Super kicks the Bad Boy, and he should go for the cover, but he's not. Now he is. It's too late now. Pipitone broke that up. Kid Extreme, a former RCW Tag Team Champion. As a matter of fact, him and his partner Dr. Johnny Wildside were the very first Tag Team Champions of Regional Championship Wrestling as the members of the Bodacious Alliance. But we're here in Ocoee, Florida, and we have Florida Tag Team. Oh! Nice maneuver, and it could be the end. Wait, Pipitone could have went for the cover, but he decided not to. And he got tripped by Kid Extreme, and Kid Extreme pulled him out. And look at this. He's giving shots to Joe Pipitone. Referee should be doing something about what's going on here. Oh, man. And there it is. There it is. The new Florida Tag Team Champions, Kid Extreme and Macho Morales. There you have it. Macho Morales wins this match, and now he can pick his tag team partner, which is obviously it's going to be Kid Extreme. There you have it right there. The new Florida Tag Team Champions, Kid Extreme and Macho Morales. There you got it. Kid Extreme, Macho Morales, new Florida Tag Team Champions. And now look at this. Bad Boy trying to hug Kid Extreme for whatever reason. He's not all there. He lost the match. Yeah, well, they were supposed to be the team in this matchup. And I guess Bad Boy felt like, okay, they were trying to win for themselves to be the tag champions, but it ain't happening. There you go. He mentioned it. Bad Boy is not going to be a member of this team. Look at him. He's still trying to talk sense into Macho. Unbelievable. All right, everybody. I'm going to let you go right now. Oh, wait a minute. What? Bad Boy, he heard enough. He heard enough. He got ripped off. They were the original team, and they didn't even cut him in as a tag champion. I'm Barry J. Walker, and we'll see you at the matches.
searching I roam. When I think about him, I pick up the phone. Now can you hear me on the other line? Forget about it, we'll talk about it another time. I'm breaking down, looking at this with all mine, with ambitious wishes and nothing but I know that I'll be fine, cause things aren't the way they used to be. I got way too used to just you and me, and it was all there for you to see, but you were blind to the situation, confusing me. So I lay you down, 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 lay you down, lay you down, lay you down, lay you down, 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 down. I lay you down, girl, I lay you down, I lay you down, 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 lay you down, lay you down, lay you down, lay you down, 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 down. I lay you down, girl, I just don't give a fuck. I said I loved her, I said I needed her, said that I'll be here, I swear to God I'm never leaving her. But the words are words and the actions speak louder than time with the curve. And so for what it's worth, I wouldn't change a thing when I close my eyes and daydream. Nothing's but hear the same things that I always heard. I know your feelings were true, just couldn't share my feelings with you. But I guess that's the way that I am. The reason women stay hating men and say they're never gonna date again. Just know a lot of guys and they claim the creds. Oh, that's so funny cause I had a different point of view. Now the lies conspiring and the thing that points to truth. So I lay it down, 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 lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, 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 down. I lay it down, girl, I lay it down, I lay it down, 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 lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, lay it down, 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 down. I lay it down, girl, I just don't give a fuck.
Here, regional championship. Ooh, as we're watching Ranger 7 getting put up and over the top as Ranger 7 is squaring off against Sheik Mohammed. This is a feud with these two guys. They've wrestled all over the place. And nice maneuver by Ranger 7. This is going to be high-flying, high-packed moves here with these two. They know each other very well. Both men trained by the bodacious Pretty Boy. Ranger 7 just leg dropped Sheik Mohammed's arm, and he's heading to the top of the ropes. And a senton right off the corner onto Sheik Mohammed. Now, to me, Ranger 7 looks different. He's doing different things I've never seen him do before. It's kind of odd. I just wanted to bring that up. And look at him yelling at the ref. That's really what is going on here. This is not the Ranger 7 that I know. I don't know what's going on here. But he sends. Oh no. Sheik Mustafa reverses it. Nice And another arm drag. And a drop kick. And look at this. Ranger 7 goes to the outside, which is, again, something that I never seen him do before. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's a little upset. Look at this. He gets brought in the hard way by Sheik, Mohammed. Regional Championship Wrestling, as you can see on your screen, facebook.com/Regional Championship Wrestling. Go on there on Facebook and get some more information for Regional Championship Wrestling. We're also on YouTube at RCW Promotions. Go on there, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, and you'll get more notifications when new videos come out. 1, 2, and no. Sheik Mohammed closely getting the title, the win, but he didn't. Ranger 7 is going to the outside. It's kind of odd to see Ranger 7 the way he is right now. I think he's upset about a lot of things. Let's just put it that way. Nice maneuver by Ranger 7 and a spinning. I think he was going to try to do a cross body. I can't even speak today. As you can see, he's going to probably try this again. Oh! Mohammed got out of the way. Ranger 7 goes over the top, and he may have hurt himself. Not a good move for Ranger 7. Referee Pee Wee Yo, and we're here at Red Lion, Pennsylvania. Ranger 7's coming in. Sheik Mohammed going out. Oh, he brought him right back out. And smashed his head. What's he going to do with him? Is he going to power drive him on the outside? Oh! That could be the end. I don't know if he got all of it in, but what he did get is still a painful move. He sends him back into the ring. And he drops the elbow right on him. Distracted over here, looking at the notes around here. What if Ranger 7 has got a problem today, or what's going on? Technical difficulties. Kicked him right in the head. He sets into the ropes, and look at this maneuver. Wow, he Frankenstein him right out to the outside. Referee is having none of this. He's upset with Ranger 7 as well. I don't see the fans cheering Ranger 7 today as they usually do. He throws the chair into the ring. Steps into the ring as he tosses Mohammed in, gives him a kick into the right there in the rib area. Now he's got a chair. Look at that! A leg drop to the chair. Referee trying to get the chair away. He picks up Mohammed. He still has a chair in hand. I never knew this match was an anything goes match, but apparently it is now. He hits the ropes, jumps to the chair, clothesline, and they both go out to the ring again. Pimio getting the chair out of the ring as fast as possible before they use it again. And now, double clothesline on the outside of the floor, and there are no mats out there. Both of them taking a beating. This is Regional Championship Wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't seen us, we're in Reading, Pennsylvania. We've run throughout PA, throughout Florida. Watch out with this senton tongue outside the ring. A backflip off the second rope onto the outside of the floor where Sheik Mohammed is at. He throws him back into the ring, and now he's going to the top again. Maybe not. He's going into the ropes. What's he going to do now? Nice backflip off the top of the middle rope. It's over. Just like that, Ranger 7 comes out victorious. Well, I'm going to see if I can get an interview with him to find out what his problem is today, because it's not usually like that. Ranger 7 wins. I'm Barry J. Walker, and we'll see you